And now it's my absolute pleasure to welcome Liveconformdie to the show. How's it going over there?
Good, great,
Really
thanks.
good. Very
Ab-
early, but really good.
yeah, what time is it over there? Because these time zones are completely messed
4
up. I
a.m.
can
Yeah,
never. Oh, damn. Well, we
Yeah,
really appreciate you guys, so thank you
that's
so
all right.
much.
Happy to be here.
I had a nice night drive, so it's all
Mm.
good.
Okay, good. I mean, I absolutely loved how we were just jamming to Tearawave and you two were over there, like, synchronized, just dancing along to your own music. So I have to know, like, immediately what would be your go-to move for listening to your own tunes? Because I saw it, but I don't want to take away that pleasure from everyone watching our show. So,
What's that Russian dance called? And you're like
Russian
I'm thinking of the
dance.
Melbourne one, but just hard style.
hard style, like
uh,
the
Melbourne Shuffle
Yes,
or
Melbourne Shuffle.
Melbourne Sound fucking around.
I don't even know what that is. Because before they were kind of doing, like, a little thing here. They had their hands going.
Yeah,
Uh,
we were just freestyling it.
mm.
Yeah,
Freestyle. That's the way to
yeah.
go. Well, just speaking to the single, it is just such a damn good track. And as we were kind of discussing off camera, you have been working on the song for a little over 2 years. So is it just a relief that it's finally out there?
Oh, you have
Oh my god.
no idea.
I'm so sick of it. This song's sitting in my Dropbox for 2 years, half finished, and like
Yeah, it's like undergone so many structural changes. Like we're happy with how it ended, but the journey was a bit full on.
there was a point about a year ago we're about to actually scrap the song completely.
We couldn't
And
think of
this,
any vocal lines to like go with it, so we're
okay.
just like, this is done. We can't add any more to this, but we push through.
Yeah.
What was the moment then where you went from a completely dire moment and to, fuck this to, hey, let's continue
Yeah,
forward and make this
It was
maybe the
happen?
intro.
we left it for like 4 months at one point, and then he just like, oh, I had this one idea. He sent me this one, the main hook. The,
It's like, I'm losing my sanity,
yeah,
and then yeah, it's sort of I got
and I was
yeah.
like, oh, I that one thing sparked like 3 different sections for me.
It was just a
Uh-huh.
bit of like,
Yeah,
yeah, and then I heard what Troy did for the intro and what he had, and when we laid it out, I was like, yeah, this is like, we got a fitty cow in the air drop. And then I was just like, yeah, no, got to do that.
there was a
Yeah.
completely different verse there at one point,
Yeah,
and when we tracked it, that was part of the reason we scrapped it, because I was like, I went in the studio like, oh yeah, I've got this hell sick idea, and then we laid it out, and we both looked at each other like, this sucks, like.
this fucking sucks. Yeah,
So it
You
took a
know what
while.
though? It is good to hear this. It's one of those things where you weren't just kind of about to be complicit and you're like, all right, you know what? It's like,
nah,
but let's just put it out. You waited on it, you made it as good as it could be, and the track's an
yeah,
absolute banger. Like as I
no,
mentioned
thank
before,
you.
the chat was loving it too as it was being spun. So I mean, it's
Sweet.
a pain in the ass to wait, I'm sure, but it's well worth it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
thank you.
Of course. Well, we absolutely have to talk about the video we just watched because it is insane. What was it like just portraying these badass characters, having all these zombies around you kicking ass? Like, bring me into
What
that
do you
world.
mean portray?
What do you?
Oh, sorry, my bad. But what was that like?
Oh, it's,
Oh man,
we basically, the director Emil, he said, I've got the certain ideas I want to throw in, and the biggest thing for us was that he volunteered to build all these sets for us.
yeah. So he went and we sort of brought this idea to him, and we were like, yeah, just imagine like you're dripped out, you got like your bloody Gucci on, but you're in the back of a Hilux with an AK-47. And then he's like, all right,
What a concept.
I'm just gonna make. He was like, I'm gonna like create this world, and it just sort of portray how you people, how your you and your friends or your gang in the video would behave and act and mess around with each other and screw around. So it was just a concept came from that, just building a world pretty much,
Mm.
Hmm.
and
And
you're just seeing
seeing,
like snippets into it.
right. I mean, do you genuinely think that you would survive a scenario like that, like a zombie apocalypse of sorts?
Yeah,
Mate, this guy lives in.
That was quick. That
He
was a
lives
quick, yeah.
he lives out in Brigadoon. He like
I live in the middle of nowhere.
this man oh, his dad is an absolute legend. If I was
Okay,
to
tell me
get
more.
stuck in if I was to get stuck in a zombie apocalypse, I would have his dad would be my number one choice to like. I'm gonna get to their house and I know I'll be surviving on canned peaches and like
canned peaches and fucking canned tuna.
Oh, I love that. So you survived by proxy of his father, which hey, is still surviving.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, something I discovered about the band is apparently you all love screaming at the other on Discord while playing Counter-Strike. So is that kind of
Rocket League,
go-to?
Counter-Strike.
Wow. Yeah, a bunch of like us and a couple of our like close friends just jump on Discord, and I mean most people do. Jump on Discord and just play Rocket League or Counter-Strike whenever we get the chance. We not so much in the last like year or two. A lot of us have been pretty busy, but
Right.
yeah, there was a good period where there was like a year.
All we did at night.
All we did for like a year straight.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming things get extremely intense. I mean, like, who was kind of the one in the band who would always win, or who would win the most, or was it fairly even playing field?
He's really good at Counter-Strike. It surprised me, but I destroy them all in Rocket League.
I suck at Rocket League, but yeah, no,
makes it even then.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then would you say that you have an actual all-time favorite game, whether ones you play with your bandmates or just ones you kind of vibe to solo?
Oh, Half-Life Alex. That'd be mine.
Half-Life Alex. Half-Life. Yeah. I never really got into Half-Life. Like not
just the
not
VR
big,
one.
Yeah. Oh, is that one?
Yeah.
For me,
Final Fantasy.
Oh yeah, Final Fantasy X is like my all-time favorite game.
Yeah.
I love how he answered that for you.
Yeah, we know each other.
I'm surprised. Yeah.
Very well.
Played a dating game.
Well, I mean, I wasn't even going to ask this. Like, I had no intentions of even bringing this up. But since you guys do know each other fairly inside and out for the last question of the day, or the very early morning for you two, what's something about your bandmate that you could share with everyone watching right now? Something that they most likely wouldn't know.
Fucking hell. Oh, shit. I know we both know too many embarrassing things about
You're like,
what's safe to say?
Exactly. I mean, everything's safe to say in my eyes, but you know.
Oh, God. I don't even know. Whenever Troy is like in the pool or anything, his sinuses just become like rivers, and he's just the snottiest person in the world. Like when we were shooting our last music video, he was in the bath. Like we did this shot in the bath, and he got out of the bath and he like sat up like that, and his nose is just like pouring out, and I had to go outside, and I was like,
not this video, but one of our previous ones, Blood Eagle. We had this scene with a bathtub where you have to like go underwater, and I was doing vocals.
Oh God, I feel sick thinking about it.
Mouthing vocals from underwater up into the camera. And I went first for some reason, even though I had to do the most. And I left the bathtub in such a state that no one else wanted to go in.
Oh, that's gnarly. That's bad.
I feel sick thinking about that. That's rough.
Yeah.
Okay, well, now it's time to get revenge on your bandmate for bringing that up. The snotty bathtub incident of whichever year.
Well, one, even though you work out, you got chicken legs still.
I know this.
Man, that was just like a rip right away. Huh?
Yeah.
You gotta be savage back.
No, I'm like 6'4", so I got like long giraffe legs.
That's my excuse as well, bro.
Yeah, all right.
But just with this video as well, we were shooting a couple of like smoking scenes, like a couple of cigars and stuff, and it's just like I always have to keep an eye on him because this man is prone to what's the word? I always forget.
Lung collapse. Oh, pneumothorax.
Yeah, pneumothorax.
Lung collapse.
Yeah, he's had his lung collapse on him a few times from doing vocals from shows. And yeah, so every time we play a show, I'm always have to like I check over and look at him to make sure he's not like gasping for breath or anything.
Dying on the floor.
That's so awful, but weirdly funny at the same time. So
Yeah.
Apologies for laughing at you right now, but you know. Those are brilliant.
There was one show actually, like I was like, Jeremy, that was the best you sounded. After the show, he like a couple days later, that's a show his lung collapsed, and I was like, oh please, like,
Yeah. That was wild. I got surgery for it though. I'm all good now.
Good.
Yeah, you haven't had any issues in ages.
My
That's
left lung like fully collapsed, and I had to go and get surgery.
Yeah.
That was gnarly.
Well, I'm happy things are better now.
That's all right.
Damn.
Thank you.
No, of course. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on here for discussing everything from Terrawave to some of your deepest, darkest secrets. It's been a blast.
No problem.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.